Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the live stream. The Pearl of Wisdom Show is here again. How you doing, all? Woo! So I got some interesting stuff about Eichel. All right. Okay, so now it makes sense now. I've been going back and forth on this quite a bit. Basically, this one, Eichel's making it tough for himself, but maybe he has no choice. I think I got to go to the Sabres on this one, because now if the Sabres allow him to have the surgery he wants, then it's up. Then their insurance is responsible for the surgery, regardless of whether, Eichel would have to do it against their wishes. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is Eichel would have to be the one to insure, but the CBA won't allow that. So, yeah, I gotta go with the Sabres on this one. Yeah, Max Domi's on the trade block, but I don't know if anybody's going to touch him now. My gosh, well, he's like he's in the same situation as Kane now, except maybe not the same, a little less, but I mean he hasn't been producing. He's been kicked off of 3 teams, so. Well, I'm not I can't say that I know enough about the CBA, but from what I understand, a player cannot get surgery that a team is not supporting. They got to sign off on it. It's part of the CBA. And as soon as Buffalo puts signature to okay that surgery, it doesn't matter if they don't like the surgery or not, they become liable. So they become just as liable for insurance purposes. So it's a tough situation. So basically, the Sabres group, the Eichel group, is saying, I don't care what you get back. He's not playing. He's obviously not playing for Buffalo again, right? He's obviously not playing with Buffalo again. So I think the best bet for him, I know he can't. I said the best bet for him is to go for surgery, but CBA won't let him do that. And I guess, but I would have to look more into what happened with Byfuglien, because Byfuglien went for surgery on his own. And then, apparently, and then that caused, and then he ended up retiring. So, the CBA is only a factor if the team wants a player to have a surgery, not the other way around. How do you know that? Give me information on that. Because what happened with Byfuglien when he went for surgery, and Winnipeg, they were ticked about it because they worked out a deal, I guess, about his contract or something like that. But I think they were going to trade him. So, I don't know. Apparently they couldn't null and void his contract, because they would have, right? And they worked out a deal. But I think I remember that they could have called it a breach, if I remember correctly. I guess I can look it up. Let's look it up. Actually, I'm not going to look it up here. I'm going to look it up on there, because I'm going to put it on TikTok there. I'm going to go live on TikTok again, because that was fun. I'll look it up here. I'll look it up what happened with Byfuglien. Did Byfuglien breach? How do you spell that again? Jeez. Byfuglien. I think it's something like that. Breach his contract. They reached, okay, the Winnipeg Jets reached an agreement with Dustin Byfuglien on Friday. So, in that case, Dustin Byfuglien was putting in a grievance, and they ended up working out an agreement. But it says nothing about him breaching his contract. Travis Boynside in Arizona. Yeah, that's a good move for him. He'll get a really good chance there in Arizona. What would work out for both teams, Sean? And if a team wanted a player to have surgery and the player did not want to go through with it, but did so anyways, then if something went wrong, then the team would be held accountable. They would have to pay the player. Right. Okay, that's fine. Hey, whoever's in here, we're doing some hockey talk. Hockey talk. Read the titles. But if the player got the surgery and the team did not want that player to get a surgery, the player would have null and void his contract with the team. And that can be dicey because there's a lot of ways you can make it seem like it was, yeah, it makes it difficult for the player because there's probably loophole ways that they, if something happens in the future, they can say that was because of the surgery and it could get really messy. So that's difficult too. But man, what a disaster that is. The best thing that can happen is that their doctor somehow has to convince another team that the surgery is going to work out perfect and get back and they can make a trade with Buffalo. That's the only thing they can be. And right now, Buffalo is, like I just did a video here right away. Apparently, and I think we talked about this before, Buffalo asked for Riley Smith, Peyton Krebs, Nicholas Hagg, and a first-round pick. And Vegas turned it down. Now, if I'm Vegas, I don't know what you're expecting to give up, but that's what they're saying. But a lot of people, like, first of all, it's a neck surgery, right? A lot of people are not believing the doctors that he has. I mean, obviously Buffalo doesn't believe in it. I don't agree that Kane should be banned from hockey for life. I don't agree with that. I believe Kane should go. I think that it's very likely that Kane's got a gambling problem, and they should open their door in any way possible to help him get some help and go from there. That's what I think, personally. And if he's not willing to accept that, then I suppose then you have to go a different direction. But I'm really wrestling with this. I'm trying to see it from both sides, from the Eichel perspective. Now, if what you say is true, if he can go get the surgery on his own, with his own money, and all of those sort of things like that, and they say we don't approve of the surgery, so if anything happens related to it, then we'll terminate your contract. Well, that's why Eichel's not going to do it, because then this is Buffalo, right? Like, are you going to trust the Sabres? They're going to, anything that happens in the future, they're going to try to make it surgery related so they can terminate his contract. That's why he wants to get traded. Now, I heard that, okay, now let's get back to the CBA here. So the CBA says that a player can go get surgery on his own. But the thing is, if he goes and gets surgery on his own, does the teams, that's right, his insurance would have to take care of it. He has no insurance then. He only has his own insurance on that. He'd have to put his own insurance on any things that would happen after that and take care of it himself. The team's not going to do anything about that. Well, I think one of the things they could have did, yeah, they haven't did much, but I did like the signing of hiring of Adams, although that might have been just a fluke, and bringing up Granato. So, hey, whoever's there, how you doing, buddy? We're doing hockey here, talking hockey. I got the TikTok going here at the same time. You guys want to talk about Eichel? Let me know anything about it. We're talking Eichel and the Buffalo Sabres right now. Which is a heavy topic right now. Oh, yeah, I'm sure his agent, right. Agents are great at handing out money. There would be a good move on the agent's part. I just highly doubt it that an agent would do that. Anyways, it makes it very interesting. The other thing that the article talked about was the LA Kings, Anaheim Ducks, and Minnesota Wild, of course, still part of the equation, but they're asking to them is way too high. Living with a hernia? I didn't know that was a song. Living with a hernia. I didn't know that. That's funny. That would... Yeah, well, I mean, if the surgery doesn't work, he's screwed no matter what, really, right? But, like... My thing here is that these doctors, how liable are they because they are very positive he's going to be perfectly fine and ready to play by the beginning of the regular season. I mean, even that seems like miraculous. And this surgery is like a brand new thing that nobody's tried on hockey players anyways. I'm sure it's been tried somewhere. He would have been the first hockey player that's the thing is, it says that he's the first hockey player. It's not the first person that's been able to use this surgery, but it's the first hockey player. And these doctors obviously have the evidence that the surgery will have him recover at an incredible pace. I don't know if it's been done in other... Yeah, that's the thing. It could have been done in other sports. Let's look that up. Okay, so the only thing I got is like way back in April 18th. The Sabres have gone. It tells you exactly. When a disc herniation occurs, this is a result of either a traumatic event, such as an unexpected blow to the head, or degeneration over the area. Okay. So the fusion reduces the pressure on the cervical nerves, putting in a fusion cage. Most return to play within 9 months, though this was between a variety of professional sports. Hockey players can return sooner, with research indicating that a player can return in about 6.5 months. The failure rates are between 2 and 9%. There are possibilities including discectomy or artificial disc replacement. There are instances where professional athletes have had the procedure, but I'm not sure this is a widespread intervention. I have also not found research to support that this is superior to the common discectomy fusion. Okay, so it doesn't really tell me all that much there, except that it has been done before. The surgery has been done before. Yeah, he won't do it, and I have to think that's for insurance reasons. So apparently the surgery has been done in other sports. I don't know. And again, this could be a new form of, and we don't even know that. Like this could be, it could be called the same thing, but this could be like even a better version of whatever they did before of replacement surgery. So we don't even know that. Now that's the thing though, Sean. If the trade is, that's if he does what Buffalo is saying, there's a 2 to 9% negative return. Now it doesn't say what the negative return is on the replacement surgery. Yeah, a lot of people are not big on football. Well, the Sabres are, like I said, we already mentioned kind of what the Sabres were asking. Now, the Anaheim Ducks, the rumor was that Anaheim was offering Zegras and a first and last year's first. I find it hard to believe Buffalo. I think Buffalo was asking for that. I personally think that. And they were, no, they're not doing that. Because they love Zegras a lot. And that might have something to do with the fact that they don't know what's going on with the surgery. So is that too much? Everything's relative. If it's not too much, hey Kyle, how you doing, buddy? It's not too much if he's going to be healthy. And this is what it's the whole thing comes down to. Does a team's doctors believe that Eichel is going to be healthy? And is there a team out there that's going to bend and eventually, take the plunge and take the risk for the player? Kyle, how you doing? We're going on about Eichel quite a bit. I just did a video on that. So the other piece of news that's going on right now as well, we can still talk about Eichel if you want, is Tarasenko. Apparently, New Jersey, the Islanders, and the Rangers, the three like PA New York teams right there, are all going after are looking at Tarasenko. But okay, Lauren, do you think that Krebs, Riley Smith is they don't even know if they're going to be able to re-sign him. I think he's only got one more year left on his contract. Krebs, Riley Smith, Hag, and a first. Is that too high, really? I mean, yeah. Again, it all comes down to, do they believe in that surgery that Eichel wants to get? That's what it comes down to. I don't know. The success rate of the surgery that Buffalo wants him to do, which is fusion surgery, is that percentage. I don't know what the surgery for replacement is. I don't know why he wants a replacement. From what I understand, this is a new form of replacement surgery that'll have him back faster. The old way of doing it would take even longer than the fusion, which is why they would do the fusion. Now, these doctors are saying he could be back by the regular season, which is far less than 6 months away. Oh, they're not getting rid of Skinner. Well, I think, let's say that if Eichel went to Vegas and he was playing with Pacioretty and Stone, over 100 points easy, as long as he's healthy. Over 100 points. CL, how you doing, buddy? I would say over 100 points easy. So is that worth it for over a 100-point player? See, I think the other teams are playing this too. Even if they know he's going to be okay, they're not going to let the Sabres know that he's going to be okay. They're going to try to play it off like, oh, we're taking a risk here. They're going to try to get him for as low as possible. And the Sabres are going to have to make people think that they're going to miss out and start adding more into it. I think closer to the regular season, we'll start to see things speed up a little bit. Like right now, everybody's just basically playing a game of chicken with each other. And eventually somebody's going to come out and say, I'll give you blah, blah, blah. And Buffalo's going to be like, well, that's something that we can consider. And they're going to go to the other teams and say, this is what the offer we have here. So what's the offer? Can you beat this offer? Can you give me this prospect, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing and that's the big thing you mentioned there, Sean, is right now, how much do they actually even trust? How much do they actually? Does he even trust Buffalo at all? So there seems to be a pretty big trust issue there for sure. Yeah, and I've gotten slammed for believing that Eichel could get 120 points, but I don't know. I don't know what people are watching. I think a lot of people make this stuff. They never watched a Buffalo game hardly, maybe one or two. Like I talk to people like they're fans of other sports like Vegas. We don't need Eichel, they say. Like Eichel is a whiner or Eichel is this or Eichel is, and they probably haven't watched a Sabres game, ever. Tarasenko has, from what I understand, will go anywhere. He just wants out of St. Louis. But right now, I'm hearing that I just did I just did a video on it. Heard it from a couple sources that New Jersey, the Islanders, and the Rangers are the ones in the hunt the most right now. I thought out of those three, the Islanders would be the one most likely. But apparently right now, New Jersey's in the lead on that. So when it comes to Lamoriello, though, I mean, he could swoop down right at the end. He's going to push this right to the end. He always does. Well, I would think if he were to do that with his own money, and then he have his own insurance, then, then get traded, and that team, then they maybe can work out a deal with that team's insurance to be able to do that or whatever. But a lot of things, I think there's a lot of red tape muddling this all up here quite a bit. No, I wouldn't be surprised if he hit 120 either. And people that I talk to think I'm crazy about that. If Eichel went to Seattle, yeah, I mean, I think he'd get over 100. But I'm concerned about Schwartz. He really hasn't looked good the last 2 years. He looks like he's fairly injured. I think that's why he only got 5.5. He got $5.5 million long term because there is injury concerns with Schwartz. Well, I hope they're trying to trade Mikko Koskinen. I don't know who Buffalo, Arizona, I would imagine. Neither one of them really have a goaltender. But I imagine they're trying to rake him over the coals because they know they need to get rid of him. Anyways, that was my next thing. Is Hudobin. Apparently, there seems to be some talk about the Edmonton Oilers going for Hudobin. Oh, you were talking about Tarasenko. Sorry about that, Sean. Yeah. I don't know why Seattle would take a risk on Tarasenko. I still maintain that, I mean, they're not going for a cup this year or anything like that, I don't think. So, I don't know why they would do that. To the Blue Jackets? No, because you're talking about that Korpisalo trade that was, God no. You're getting the same. Korpisalo and Koskinen are pretty much the same goaltender. I hope they don't do that. That'd be terrible. That'd be just trading one headache for another. I say the Sabres need a goaltender. They've only got 40-year-old Anderson. And the Avalanche only have Carter Hutton. Although, if you like I said, if you really want to just tank, have Carter Hutton as your number one goaltender, and you should have no problems getting a top 3 pick next year. But yeah, the only reason why they go to the Blue Jackets is if they got rid of Koskinen. Besides that, I don't see any other place for him to go. And I think that Arizona and Buffalo would try to get them to give them a pick plus Koskinen. They know that they're doing them a favor by taking that contract. Well, like I said, a team like Arizona or somebody will probably take him off your hands, but it's going to cost you something on top of that. The Islanders are announcing a signing soon. Really? Well, I heard they were going to sign Zajac. I think that's Zajac. Well, somebody like Koskinen would probably be happy to go to Arizona because if he doesn't go there, he's probably out of the league. Nobody else is scrambling for Koskinen. Yeah, the Edmonton Oilers were talking about Elvis Merzlikins, but I don't think that Columbus has any inclination towards trading Elvis. Excuse me. I don't think they want to trade Elvis at all. Why would you want to? He's been like when he's hot, like when he's at his best, he's fantastic. So Corpusalo, yeah, I'm sure Corpusalo's out there, but I think they're going to end up keep on rolling with them because I don't see anybody who watches like really Corpusalo was saved by Tortorella's system. He's not that good of a goaltender. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I loved Mike Smith when he was Arizona. It was too bad that guy had to waste away in Arizona. He was so loyal. Uh, I loved him. He's a freaking he's a battler. He's a warrior, but 39 years old. I mean, Olafson asked to leave Buffalo. I don't know. It's probably a pretty good spot for him. Uh, I don't know if he's going to be a number two winger in too many other cities, so he might just be happy to keep on rolling there. That's Olafson. I would think the Stars are shopping Hudobin. Yeah, I mentioned that in my video. Hudobin did something that just totally pissed off Rick Bowness last year. Uh, they he they he don't you remember that? I don't know what it was, but they benched him for like 3 games, and things weren't right with their relationship after that for quite a while. So, and then they went out and got Holtby. Why would you get Holtby if you're going to keep Hudobin? Like it's pretty much the writing's on the wall. They're going to trade Hudobin, and they don't want another goaltender back. I'm thinking that they have a deal already in place. Edmonton seems like the best place, but man, what a old goaltending tandem, Smith and Hudobin. Hudobin did go to the final like 2 years ago, though. So I think the Bruins might be done now. Yeah, he's able to skate now. He's still skating. You got Ottinger, man. Why would you not play Ottinger? Ottinger is the guy you want in Dallas. Ottinger's going to be their number one. That kid is insane. I mean, it depends on how you want to go, Sean. Would it be worth it? I think, I mean, those picks would not be great super picks probably if you had Eichel. Except next year, they'd have to have that surgery right away, and Eichel be ready right away. They're close to a playoff team. So I think I might do it. Even if you are building around, what you want to get with those picks is Eichel. And honestly, he's got $10 million for the next 5 years. That is not bad. If he puts over 100 points a season, $10 million is nothing, man. So I would consider that for sure. I'm a little concerned, just like I am with Vegas, that without building a depth in your franchise, you could get in big trouble. And I just don't see Francis doing that. He's gonna build depth through his organization. I just can't see him not doing that. Yeah, I would say that's a very good combination, Kyle. Hudobin and Mike Smith. I agree with you. You missed out on the drama in Dallas. Yeah, it was halfway through the year, and I'm thinking he did something that was like COVID stupid, you know what I mean? Like went out partying or something like that, and probably more than once. And Bonus just got fed up. And they never seemed like the relationship was right after that. So yeah, I mean they can do it. Does that make them a cup contender though? No. If they got Eichel, they're still not a cup contender. That's the thing. That's why I don't know. Like you'd have to let the cap build and then just keep on adding, and building a cup that way. So you're not going to be building through the draft so much now. You're going to be building through trades and free agency more. And then hope you keep, because you don't have your next 2 first-round picks. And God forbid that you have a goaltender get hurt in Seattle. Because you're pretty much screwed. And then if you do have a goaltender problems or something like that, and it ends up being a top 5 pick or something like that, that could be bad. But it was sleeping in? Okay. Yeah, for sure. Epic Gamer, woo! Welcome in, buddy. I do remember you. It's been a while. Thanks for coming in. There's a little Perlo dance for you. I haven't did this in a while. Here's some pearls for you. Wow. Some blue pearls into your environment there, buddy. Sometimes you go solos. Is that a name? I don't remember that name. I do remember Epic Gamer. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence about it. I mean, you get a guy like Eichel, you can build around him. But what are you going to build around him with if you don't have the draft picks? You're probably going to have to do it through free agency or get really lucky on your second rounders. So I just don't see Francis doing a move like that. Especially if it was Francis. If it was somebody like Chuck Fletcher or somebody like that, then maybe. Those are guys that like to gamble a bit as general managers. Once you did that, once Seattle did that too, they'd be, oh yeah, everybody like and all that kind of stuff like that. Subscribe and all that helps out the channel a lot. Try to get this up to, we're trying to get this up to 20 concurrent viewers first, eventually up to 100. And then we're going to be, oh my, once we get to 100 concurrents, woo, we're going to be giving out prizes and everything. Epic, geez, epic, slow on the sauce, bro. What's that? Casey Cizikas, I don't know. Apparently, they are getting close to a deal. The Islanders just love those guys. I don't know what it's going to be. It's probably going to seem like too much money, but they keep on making it to the semifinals, and I imagine Casey Cizikas will end up signing with the Islanders. $6 million? No, he's not getting $6 million. There's no way. There's no way Casey Cizikas is getting $6 million. That would be just stupid. I heard something about $5 million, but the Islanders don't have the cap room for that. If they're going to sign him, it's probably going to be not much more than what he was making before. If they're going to sign him for that kind of money, then they might as well not have had Pajot. $6 million would be ridiculous. He's not a $6 million player. Not even close. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get, is he going to get Coleman money? He's never had as many points as Coleman. They're still thinking about how to beat Tampa Bay. Yeah, and apparently scoring is not the way. They're trying to figure out how to beat Tampa Bay in the semifinals without scoring. He was making 3.5 before, I think. I could be wrong. Let me check it out. They've got $17 million in cap space. They have $17 million in cap space. Where the heck is their UFAs? Why do they do this? Sometimes on Cap Friendly they'll post. They'll post the UFAs and sometimes they won't. Oh, maybe because, yeah, they don't officially have his rights now. What the heck? I can't find it. That was a killer deal. That was they nailed that. Same as the Point signing and the McCarr signing are freaking cherry. Beautiful signings. But that McCarr signing is going to look stupid in 3 years. Like, oh my gosh. Sakic is like the freaking the contract whisperer. I swear to God. Yeah, he was the Point signing. What did he get? 9 million or something? Like, he's worth every penny, man. I wanted to see what Cizikas got last year. Unrestricted free agents. Okay, browse UFAs. Okay, so I was looking at it right. Where's Cizikas? Casey Cizikas, 3.35. $3.35. That's what he was making. I don't think he's going to get that much more than that. Maybe 4, but 2 years at 1 million. That wasn't a bad signing. He definitely has value. I think he's still too slow though. I'll take Point over Barzal. I'll take Point over Barzal mainly because of that shot. Point shot is freaking insane. It's hard to find shooters in the NHL like that. I love Barzal, and I know he would get more points if he had better line mates. He's slick. He's got a wonderful backhand. I mean, he's great. But Point shot, that shot is insane. One of the best in the league, and he's a fantastic two-way player. Barzal's an underrated two-way player too, but. Oh yeah. I was gonna look that up. What did he get? 9? Nine and a half. $2,029.30. That wasn't even 8 years. $2,022 to 2029. That's only 7 years. They even got it on a 7-year. $9.5 million. That's gonna look like a friggin' beautiful contract. 5-6 years from now. Yeah, that was amazing. That was one of the best fake slap shot passes I've ever seen in my life. That was incredible. Like, it had everybody fooled. Had me fooled. I I saw the shot and I think I went to grab my drink and get back up and it's what the heck happened? And then they showed the replay and I'm like, holy crap. I thought that was shot all day. That was one of the best shot fakes I've ever seen in my life, for sure. I'd say they got a better backup. I don't know if I'd say they got a really good backup. Elliott will probably do better in Tampa Bay than he did in Philadelphia, though. The Flyers got a good goalie. What are you talking about? They got it from San Jose. No, they did not get a good goalie. They didn't get it from the Kings. Are you talking about Detroit? No, it was Detroit that got. Detroit got. By the way, Bernier. Okay, there's a lot to talk about here. Bernier is way better than people think. Bernier is way better. Carolina made a big mistake not signing up Bernier. They could have had him. He rocked in Detroit. It's just the team was so bad. Watch what he does in New Jersey, man. I almost think New Jersey might have made a mistake getting Bernier because he's going to push Blackwood maybe too far. Like they might, he's so good now. He was a late blooming goaltender. He's so good that he might make it so they have to play him, and that could hurt Blackwood's confidence. I don't know. San Jose, all the moves they made didn't matter. They signed Reinhart. And I like Hill, but I think they see him like as a Smith kind of guy. Like he's got a lot of upside, and he could be. He's one of those battler type goaltenders, and they must see. I'm going to reserve my judgment on that because they would have had to go through Nabokov on that, and Nabokov is like a goalie whisperer. So Nabokov must have saw something in his game and said, "Go get Hill, and I think I can turn him into a number one." So I'm going to reserve judgment on that pretty much, but. Yeah, I mean, Blackwood at this point doesn't want to be a backup, though. That's going to be a battle, all right. That's going to be a battle. I don't know what he was asking, but apparently they were only offering like $2 million, like what they offered Ranta. Carolina was all in for Anderson. That's their guy. And that could work out okay as long as he's not injured. It could work out okay. More years to go to Carolina? I don't know exactly what happened there. But, I mean, if he would have signed 2 years, $4 million in New Jersey, if they offered him 2 years at $4 million in Carolina, I can't see why in the world he would turn that down. Where is he from? No, it's Bernier, right? So Bernier's from Quebec. Maybe because it's closer to Quebec a little bit. That's why he took New Jersey, but I don't know. Yeah, I said like I said, if there was a mistake, if New Jersey, the only thing I'm concerned about is Blackwood's confidence, but on the same note, he should be able to handle it. If he's going to be a number one, he's got to keep up with guys like Bernier. If Blackwood plays as good as well as he can, then for sure he's going. And Bernier plays as well as he can. New Jersey's probably got the best 1-2 punch in the NHL, I think, except for maybe Lankinen and Fleury in Chicago. That is true. Kane's made a good. Yeah, I don't bemoan Carolina for not signing Hamilton. However, I mean, let's face it, they're not as good. Especially, they made it up by getting D'Angelo for $1 million. I mean, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful. That, to me, that was the signing of the season. My favorite bottom six player. Oh my gosh. Probably Foligno. Thing is, in Boston, he's going to be a top six. And Minnesota, they play him in the top. Play the other Foligno in the top six. So I guess I can't really say that because they play them in the top six. My favorite bottom six player, Maroon. Maybe Maroon. Man, there's lots. There's so many if I really think about it. It would probably be easier for me to go like my favorite bottom six player on each team. Favorite bottom six player, and some bottom six guys are just young. I think Foligno is going to play in their top six. He's going to be their second line center. They can't play. They can't play. What's his name there? Coyle. They can't play Coyle there. They got to play Foligno there. Coyle has shown over and over again they can't play offense. I love Maroon. I love Corey Perry. He's a bottom six now. You have to let me think about that. Like my favorite. Okay, let me look it up on teams here. I love guys that annoy the crap out of people. So. You could put Lowry there. Winnipeg Jets, Lowry. I like Rocco Grimaldi quite a bit. Coleman, but he's going to be a top six now. Probably a Dallas Star guy I like. There's where you and I disagree, Mercer. I think Bear's going to make that trade look really bad. I agree on Lauren here. Sort of, I agree with Lauren. Coyle's never going to be ready. How is he ever going to be ready? He's like 27. Like this is what he is now. He's a third line center, maybe even a fourth line center now. He's one of those guys that got the money and was never as good as he was before. Oh, Jordan Greenway's a top 6 though. I love Jordan Greenway. I think they could have made a mistake. I mean, Bear didn't have a great year last year, but I think in Carolina's system, they may end up looking bad. Fogle the Fogle analytics people will say that his expected goal rate is very high and his defense is good. But the problem is it's been like that forever and he never scores. Like his creativity is terrible. So he's like I think he's going to end up being a guy like Carrier or somebody like that in Vegas. In which case, it all depends on what Bear. Now, what I heard about Bear quite a bit is that he was coming to camp out of shape. So if Bear's coming to camp hopefully Carolina has a very stringent. Like if I'm an owner of a team, I'm going to have guys like there's going to be some heavy expectation that you come to camp in shape, man. I'm going to put it in the contract. You don't come to camp in shape. You know, we get to have a trainer show up at your door every day if necessary to make sure you're in shape. I mean, it's inexcusable that you don't have yourself in shape to be an athlete. To me, it's inexcusable. The problem, what they were doing with Bear in Edmonton was they were basically trying to use him as a shutdown guy, and I just don't think that's the best thing to do for Bear, is use him as a shutdown guy. I hope you're right for Seattle's sake. I'm not as big of a Grubauer guy as a lot of people are. I think I mean, that Colorado defense is insane. So it's good. And Seattle's defense is not insane. It's okay. It's okay. They've got a lot of guys that can block shots. They don't have a lot of guys that can move the puck out of the zone. Larson, I'll tell you, if you're a Seattle fan, if Larson just started getting decent at getting the puck out of the zone. He's not very good at it. He's great at taking the puck off people's sticks, though. He's fantastic at that. Tell that to a relief pitcher? Doggy time, yeah. I'm having so much fun, I didn't want to go to doggy time. Well, if it's anything, we're talking about Brind'Amour here. Brind'Amour is probably one of the most well-conditioned athletes of his time and is still in better condition than a lot of the players today. So I think it's a perfect place for him, for sure. No doubt about it. Yeah, exactly. Okay. It is doggy time though. Don't go away now. We're got 9 concurrents. On our way back here, we're going 20 concurrents. Tell all your friends. Okay, I gotta pay my bills here, guys. I get in trouble if I don't do this, so.
Greetings. This is Steel Flyers from the Steel Flyers All Sports Network, and we have 2 very special guests. We are delighted to be joined by Tracy Musser and Nicole Howard from the Canine Country Club Resorts. Tracy and Nicole are both managers for CCC Resorts and work at the Windsor or at the club, one of 2 locations both in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Congratulations on your 30th year anniversary of being in business. Let me start off by saying this. Steel Flyer stands behind this company 100%. Taken care of Steel Flyer's furry friend for the last 2 years now, and they are a one-stop shop for everything your furry friend needs. In fact, let's find out what our friends at CCC Resorts offer. Nicole, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. What are some of the great boarding services that you guys offer, and what do we have to do in order to get our furry friends taken care of when we are unable to travel with them?
Well, we like to bring everybody in for a tour first. That way they can see the behind the scenes, they can see where they stay, they can see where they play, and then we explain all of the fun things that we can add on to their reservation, whether it be one of our packages, either a nature walk, a ball time, or even a cuddle time.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Boy, it sure sounds like a resort to me. So, how are you today, Tracy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Tracy, tell me, is it true that you guys have both an indoor and an outdoor pool at the Windsor location?
It is true. We've got one of each, so we're able to offer year-round swimming. The indoor pool is a great option for dogs who are swimming for therapy or rehab. It's got that sloped entry so they can wade into the water. Our outdoor pool is a little bit larger and it's 4 foot deep the whole way across. And both of them are saltwater pools, so it's really easy on the dog's skin and coat.
Wow, that's very awesome. So then during the summer months, you have a much deeper pool outside and then a sloped entry shallow pool indoors for the dogs. Tracy, tell the folks how we can get some pool time.
Well, the first thing everyone does is come for an intro swim. We use that time to make sure the dog is comfortable in the water. We make sure they know how to get out of the pool safely, and we go over all the pool rules and etiquette with the clients as well. After that, they're able to schedule private appointments where they have the pool to themselves, or they can invite friends and have a whole group swim going on.
So after a dip in the pool, then it would have to be off to the groomers, right? I mean, our furry friends cannot go out looking their best. Nicole, what are some of the great services your top-notch groomers provide?
Our groomers, they specialize in full service grooms. We can do the basics, whether it be just a bath and a brush out or a blowout. Or for the extra pampered pooches, we can do nail dremels, we can do deodorizing soaks, and also facials.
Wow, man, that sounds like a resort if you ask me. Tracy, I know one of the main programs here at CCC Resorts is the WAGS program. The Steel Flyers dog is enrolled in this program. So why don't you tell the folks what is involved in this and how they can get enrolled?
Yeah, the WAGS program is our primary daycare option at the Windsor. It's designed to be a structured program for people who are looking for a set routine for their dog. They all come on the same days each week, which allows them to have set friends, and we know exactly what's going on with each group. So we do a little bit more activities and we build more into their daily routine there. But we've got other daycare options as well for people looking for a little less commitment. We do an hourly care where you can drop them off and just pay by the hour. We also do a day stay option, which is great for the dogs that prefer human friends instead of making friends with other dogs. And then we have a traditional daycare option as well if you're looking for the occasional outing for your dog.
Wow, there you have it. A full service groomer, a daycare program, and an indoor and outdoor pool. What more could you ask for? Sure seems like CCC Resorts has everything covered. Remember, DOG, depend on God.
All right, we're back. Okay, let's get back at her again. Just pay them bills. Yeah, exactly. I got to pay the bills. You guys are doing friggin' awesome getting uh, people into the chat today. Big round of applause for you all. Woo! Excellent job, guys. Excellent job. We're getting lots of people in here. It's fantastic to see. Okay, so what do we got? Anybody else? Sergachev is such an underrated D-man. Bottom 6 for you. Yeah, awesome job, guys. Share it around your social media sites and stuff like that. Hopefully everybody comes back now. See, that's the thing. As soon as we go to commercial, everybody takes off and then they forget that where the cool place is. Yep, starting to grow in some subs here. If you notice on my thing, I get lots of views. Like if you could go to guys that have thousands of followers, they get about as many views as me, but nobody follows me. They like to listen to me, but they don't want to follow. I don't know why. Oh. Is the Holinka going on right now? I didn't even know the Holinka was going on right now. Anyways, let's take a look at, so what else is going on here at Those Wisdom Industries here. See if there's any new rumors coming up here from Marco Rossi's going to play in the Olympics. That's good news. The Nashville Predators signed Rem Pitlick, probably to a 2A. Not much going on there. But Marco Rossi is going to play in the Olympic qualifiers. So good to hear that Rossi is back for Minnesota. They've been looking for a guy. That's going to be their number one center. I saw a story on Rossi about how he would go to bed at night and he didn't know that if he was going to wake up. Like, he had COVID that bad. Like, he thought he was going to die. That's how bad Rossi was last year with his COVID, whatever happened. That's pretty crazy. Jimmy Vesey is not good. He can't produce any offense whatsoever. I think he would go to Sweden. Yes. The Jet O Frolic. I will be getting a Jet O Frolic, and we're all going to travel all around the lands. Going to go to every single arena there is. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait till it happens. No, I haven't seen anything about that in the Holinka Cup. It's funny you bring that up. Yeah. I don't know. Did certain teams decide not to go? Let me see. I guess I'll look it up again. So let's see, August 2nd to 7th. It's on right now. They got the U.S. roster here. But it's like nobody. Is that the U.S. roster? Who the heck are these guys? Vinny Borghese? Like, these are nobodies. Never heard of any of them. Jimmy Clark, Mikey D'Angelo, Luke Devlin. I kind of know that name. I think he was a late pick. Cole Knuble. Is that Mike Knuble's son or something? He was born in 2004. 2004, 2014. These are all like 19-year-olds. Never heard of any of them. That is weird. That is weird. It doesn't give you any like information at all. In the Beauty League, what's that? Bill, I thought you were the one saying that they weren't going to play Jeremy Swayman in the bigs this year. I thought that was bull. I think they were just saying that to throw teams off that they were on Allmark or something. What's the Beauty League? I don't even know what that is. I think Swayman is. I don't know, like when they said they were going to play him in the minors all year, I was like, really? Like he looked like he crushed it to me. I don't know. Oh, Summer League with a mix of pros and minors. Okay, sorry. So beauty, like beauty, like NHL. Hockey players say that all the time. He's a beauty. That's a beauty. Okay. Or wasn't it you that said that, Bill? Somebody said that they weren't going to play him. They can play him back up at Rask. Rask is not going to play. Rask is not going to play. There's no way. No way Allmark is signing that contract. I don't. Maybe. I mean, why you're going to throw that much money at Allmark, and then what are you going to do with them? And Rask comes back, you're going to have $5 million, $2.5 million extra on your cap. Oh, if he does, I just don't think. I don't think Rask is coming back. I think he's retiring, man. I've been saying it all along, so I'm going to go with it. Even before I knew that they were going to get Allmark, I was thinking that Rask was going to retire. I think they know he's retiring. He's talked about it before. He's said a few times if he's not playing for Boston, he's going to retire. I doubt he's lying about that. I think they have decided to move on. You go out and get Allmark, and they'd have to put Swayman in the minors, I guess. And then maybe they can give Rask like a small contract to finish the year, I suppose. It's possible. I don't know. Well, I think that my bet on if I'm a betting man, I'm gonna bet that Swayman crushes it. That kid looks amazing. And then what happens with Allmark? I don't know what Allmark could be in big trouble in a way. Or at least be traded anyways. So I think Boston got Allmark as a security blanket for Swayman. Wonder did he have a no trade clause in that deal for Allmark? If he didn't, he was just happy to get the money, and if he gets traded, whatever. I guess, because it was a lot of money, $5 million a year. He's got a no movement clause. For the first 2 years. Wow. He's got a no movement clause for the first 2 years. I don't know what you would think about Swayman. Like somebody told me that they heard that or they were sure that they were going to play him in the minors. I just didn't understand that. They didn't want to do what they did with Carter Hart. What happened to Carter Hart to happen to Swayman? But I mean, I suppose you should tiptoe a bit. But I mean, that kid was crushing it. Like when you got a kid playing like that, I don't know, man. No way you can put him in the minors. Wouldn't that hurt his confidence more than anything? At least, I don't know. If he keeps on playing like that, Allmark and all the, it's like, it won't matter. You're playing Swayman. Allmark's going to be a backup and traded probably, but he's got a no movement clause for the first 2 years. So that should be interesting. But I guess you just got a really expensive backup because Swayman's still on a entry-level contract. So you're not really paying all that much for goaltenders. But after the first 2 years, it's a no-trade clause, a moderate no-trade clause. What does it say? 15-team no-trade list. So they should be able, if Swayman destroys him, and I imagine that's very possible that he will, after 2 years, they could at least get something for him. So pretty good. It's a pretty smart contract. Well, because he did play really well for Buffalo. It was nothing to do with him. The guy was playing awesome last year, then the year before. He's a late bloomer. He looks like a really, like, he could be a number one. I kind of question his choice to go to Boston. I can only imagine that Boston just gave him the extra years or something. But as far as, like, he really put himself in a fire there. But he's got the money, and he's guaranteed. He's got the money he's got the money. So then he gets through the 2 years, and he gets traded off, and then whatever. But he's not even that young. I think he's like 28, isn't he? He just kind of blossomed, 28 years old. So after 2 years, he's going to be 30. And then if he beats out Swayman, which I find it hard to believe he will, I really like Allmark, but I don't think he's going to beat out Swayman. So I think his stay in Boston is probably 2 years, and that's it. Boston keepers are demanded? What do you mean by that, Dork? Yeah, I mean, you got to put, if Swayman's playing the way he was last year, you got to, like, look at the best goaltender tandems in the league. Fleury, Lankinen, Bernier, Blackwood, and probably Allmark, Swayman. As long as he keeps on playing Allmark could look absolutely beastly playing in front of that defense in Boston. Eight likes. We almost got to double digits, guys. Woo! We got to 10 concurrents. We got to get 20 concurrents. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm pretty confident Allmark's going to be really good there. I'm pretty confident. I think they're pretty confident too. Oh, is that what you meant to say? Hudobin, Subban. All right, I wouldn't go that far. But Hudobin was a starter for a short amount of time. I wonder how Halak is going to do in Vancouver. That's going to be interesting. I think it'll work well with Demko, though. Yeah. Stretched it a bit. Subban, yeah. The worst goalie in the league? Carter Hutton. Bar none. Worst goaltender in the league. Carter Hutton. Carter Hutton had a horrible year, 2 years ago? And then they said his problem was he needed eye surgery. So he was literally a blind. The thing was, Carter Hutton came out and said he needed eye surgery, which is basically like saying you played blind the year before. And everybody was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's probably it then. Okay. And then he comes back after the eye surgery and is absolutely just as bad as he was before. So now there's a case where he was in Buffalo, but he could look a little. Is he going to look better in Arizona with the defense they got going on over there? Yeah. That's pretty bad when you come out and say, hey, guess what, guys? And they go, what? Turns out I couldn't see last year. And everybody goes, yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. Yeah. You might as well just start him blind in Arizona, yeah. Like, look at the defense in Arizona next year. Ooh, man. Strawman, was barely making it. Gosh, the Spear. We all know about that. Maybe he can be a ref. Lorne. Yeah, he's got... Yeah, he found a spot. Who else is in there? Man, I think Lyabushkin at the moment is considered one of their 1-2 defensemen in Arizona. So, poor defense, no offense, and horrible goaltender. I don't know if they're going to add another one, but I wouldn't. You might as well, just epically suck. Let's see if they can, not only win, 5 games or something like that. But I think in their division, they'll probably get away with it. But Zamboni driver, perhaps, yeah. Let me bring up Arizona. Let's look at Arizona's lineup for next year so far. And the thing is they're only halfway down. I mean, they're not even at the bottom of the cap hit list. How much cap space? They still only have $9 million in cap space. So an incomplete roster of Strawman, Chychrun. Poor Chychrun, my gosh. The guy could be a Norris caliber freaking defenseman in another team. I gotta look at the depth chart, actual depth chart. I think Kolobianko, Keller, Dvorak, Kessel, and apparently Kessel's going to get traded. There's talk of Dvorak being traded. Then Kraus, Nick Schmaltz, and Christian Fischer as your second line. Fischer can't even skate, man. He's a terrible skater. Barrett Hayton. He's been overplayed, too young. I don't know. We'll see what he turns out to. Johan Larsson. And then they went and got Dmitry Yaskin, who has never been able to make it in the NHL. But he got 6 points last year in the K. He got 60 point a game in the K last year. But before that, he hasn't played in the NHL since 2018, where he got 17 points in 76 games. I can't see him all of a sudden being able to shoot out the room. And then they got Dzingel on the fourth line. I don't think so. I think he'll be up on the second. With Beagle and Louis Eriksson. And then defense, Chychrun, Lyabushkin, Gosh the Spear, Strawman, and Kobianko with Timmins. Joseph Coronar and Hutton. Coronar will probably beat out Hutton as their number one goaltender. That is a pathetic lineup right there. That's horrible. Oh, he was going to tell him, but it was blasted all over Twitter. Somehow it leaked out. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, he might as well suck like so bad. That team, if Carter Hutton is the #1 goaltender for that team, wow. But the problem with having a goaltender like that is it's hard to build offensive systems and defensive systems and stuff like that with the team that can't trust their goaltender to stop pucks. So, I'll be watching them play. Like, well, watch them come out and do something. Like, how many times have we done this where we just slam a team and next thing you know, they're freaking going through the roof? But for anybody who's in here, I'm at My NHL Pearls of Wisdom on YouTube. Check it out. My NHL Pearls of Wisdom on. I'll keep it up, buddy. I'll be here for days. I got TikTok people talking to me too here, which is good. James Reimer is the worst goaltender in the league. No, I still got to say it's Carter Hutton. Now, it depends on what you mean by in the league. Like for players that for goaltenders that played along, like you could say Dell would be up there. I mean, Buffalo too. If Buffalo doesn't get a goaltender yet now, and they have Anderson, they got to get another goaltender. There's no way they're going with Anderson and Dell as their 2 goaltenders. That's a team that really needs some, like a guy that can stop pucks to a certain degree to build that system. You can't have Anderson there. The worst starter in the league. Worst starter in the league. What is the worst starter in the league? Well, right now it'd be Anderson, but I mean, I can't see him being a starter. Mrazek. Oh, okay. Maybe Mrazek is the worst. Give me another one. Who else is there? I'm doing this off the top of my head. So, worst starter. I think Mrazek. It could, depend. Hopefully, it's not Anderson. Worst starter. I got to look at everybody here. Boston. Bennington? Nah, I can't go that. Samsonov? Maybe Samsonov? Oh, if you want to call Bobrovsky a starter, I guess Bobrovsky. I don't consider him the starter there, though. Carter Hart, unfortunately, that's going to change, though. If they call Korpisalo the starter, then that would be the worst. Jari. Oh shoot, I forgot about Jari. Yeah. Jeez, how could I forget about Jari? Hope he's not a starter, but Jari would have to be the worst, yeah, starter in the league for sure. Yeah, that's his perch to get off of. Craig Anderson right now, yeah, but I can't see him being the starter. I don't know. I think Jari might be worse after that playoffs. I mean, that playoffs was absolutely horrible. Yeah, that's the point. You forget, because it's got to be Jari, yeah, as of right now. If Pittsburgh makes the playoffs with Jari as a goaltender again, I don't know what to say. Like, that Sullivan, if Pittsburgh makes the playoffs with Jari as their number one goaltender next year, let's say it right now, Sullivan gets coach of the year. They got it. Jonathan Quick's not a starter, though. He's a backup. Peterson is a starter. Sullivan's got to get coach of the year next year. If Pittsburgh makes the playoffs with Jari as the It was Jones. I would have said Jones at one time. But now, yeah, Hill. Well, you can't really say Hill is the worst because we got to see he's never been a starter. But so we'll have to wait to see. But you could put Hill there, I suppose. But I think it's got to be Jari. You can't count him out, yeah, but I mean, there's a point where you got to give the head coach a. That would be stupid if they fire Sullivan. That would be just stupid. That team shouldn't even be making the playoffs with the defense they have. You watch now. Okay, we'll see, but everybody said, okay, CeCe went to Pittsburgh and he played really well. But we'll see how he does under Tippett instead of Sullivan. Carey Price comment to media today? No. Why is she commenting all the time, by the way? What? I don't understand that. So apparently Angela Price came out and said that she thought for sure they were going to Seattle. Now, this is the same Angela Price who came out and said, don't worry about it, everything's going to be okay, blah, 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 on her Instagram. So I don't even know what to believe anymore. Price goes on to explain that moving to Seattle wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world for her family. She herself grew up in Washington State. Yeah, I don't know. She made no science. She made no sense. She didn't say she was pissed that they kept him in Montreal. The worst defenseman in the league. Cody Ceci. I thought it was Cody Ceci, but he had a decent year last year. I would say Goodbranson, maybe. Maybe Goodbranson. Yeah, but his offense makes up for his poor defense to a certain degree. Although I don't think he would have produced that kind of offense in I don't think he would have produced that kind of offense on most teams. I think maybe manufacturing headlines. I think so. I don't know. Is she a model or something and she wants to make a name for herself? Because I don't know. It's weird. What's she talking in the media about anyways? Like, what did you say? She made no sense. Okay. She made no sense. That's all right. My grammar, I don't care about grammar. As long as I get it eventually. Yeah, that was okay. We'll see what Kyrou is. I think Kyrou is probably like a tweener, second and third. He never really built his defense up well enough to be. He's a weird player. He's one of those guys that just barely makes your top six. You know, and he's barely an NHL top six, but he can't play in your bottom six very well. So, what she said was it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if she went to Seattle. It appears like she's not saying that she wanted to leave though. Hey, Hockey News Reports, how you doing, man? Dion Phaneuf was a good player, man. He got slammed in Toronto. But, okay, the worst defenseman in the league. So this would have to be a defenseman that plays like regular minutes all the time. Garth Butcher. My pick for worst defenseman in the league is Garth Butcher. Off the top of my head. There might be somebody worse out there, but I haven't. Demers played really bad in Arizona last year. He was horrible. I think he should probably retire. But somebody will probably give him a shot. But Garth Butcher would be my... a philanthropist and a blogger. So maybe she's just calling attention to that. But I don't know. Find it very odd that she would even be mentioning that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't know. If I'm Montreal, I'm like, shh. People don't need to know this stuff. Like, really, why do you need to tell that to everybody? That's all you got to know? Yeah. Yeah, I think she's just making up stories to drum up some, know what? Somebody on TikTok said no. Know what, buddy? Yeah, as you can tell, we're talking hockey here. So if you like hockey, stick around and listen to what I'm saying. Yeah, I think she's just making stuff up. Millionaire homemaker, nothing better to do or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. You don't think Carey Price is going to play this season? Alex Biega, he's pretty bad, but he never really played a regular. He did play regular. He didn't play regular last year, did he? Didn't. So like, not super regular, anyways. Yeah, I think Carey Price. I guess they must know what she's saying, but you would think that they would tell her not to talk like that. Like who? Where else does that happen? Where you're putting inside information out there? The wife of a player is putting inside information that, ooh, we didn't know. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. I don't think they're putting Price out there like that if they actually thought that they were going to do it. I think Seattle tried to make it look like it, possibly to see if they could extract a pick out of Montreal or something like that. But I didn't see Seattle putting that kind of money into an old goaltender like that. Yeah, what's he getting surgery on again? Price? Is it his hip or something like that? We played in Detroit, yeah. He didn't play much in Detroit, though, did he? Or did he? He could have, because that was a really bad defense. If Biega's playing on your defense, you don't have a very good defense. Or you don't have much depth on your defense for sure. Hip and back, okay. If he doesn't play at all next year, Montreal doesn't make the playoffs. I think he's going to play. They're saying that he's going to be back for the regular season, so. Leafs like signing bad. They're just throwing darts at a board and hoping they can find something that works. They're just taking everything off the scrap heap, and it might actually work out. Like Bunting was a good pickup. Ritchie, I mean, he's got no pressure there in Toronto now. There's nobody pressing him for ice time or anything like that. He's going to get every chance in the world to become what everybody thought he was going to be in Toronto. You know, he could pull it off. Who else did they pick up there? They picked up some pretty... Kasha. Coming off of injury from Anaheim, hasn't been the same since. Is he going to be... I thought Ritchie did pretty good in Boston last year. I don't know why they just let him go like that. I doubt it, Bill. If the Habs will make the playoffs with Jake Allen as their number one, I doubt it. But, I mean, that number one line for them could be just sick. Suzuki, Caulfield, and Toffoli. But my bet right now is that Montreal doesn't make the playoffs next year. Yeah, Kasha's just is a body. He looked like he was going to be really good, Kasha. And then I can't remember the injury he had, but he hasn't been the same since, like not even close. And now they're giving him another shot at $1 million to see if he can become that. So. Sorry about whoever's trying to come on there. I'm talking NHL hockey here on. Right now I'm on YouTube. Can't really come on TikTok with you. Did the Ottawa Senators extend Victor Mete? Hey, Hockey News Reports, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, I mean, when he's healthy, he looked like a really good player, but it's just he hasn't been able to maintain his health. Well, okay, like they're going to go to their regular divisions. That would be they're going to have Boston, Buffalo, Detroit, Florida, Boston, Montreal, Tampa, and Toronto. It's going to be between Toronto and Montreal. Boston, Florida, Tampa, Toronto, and don't count out Ottawa. So it's going to be between Toronto and Montreal. And then, like, Ottawa could surprise this year, but I think that they're still a little green, but they did so well. Which team that made the playoffs? Well, I think Montreal. We were just talking about that. I think there's a good chance that Montreal doesn't make the playoffs. And I think it's possible Washington has a tough time making the playoffs. You got the Islanders, Rangers, Philadelphia, Carolina, Washington. It's possible that Washington doesn't make the playoffs. Chicago with all they did, Colorado. I think it's possible St. Louis doesn't make the playoffs. So those would be some teams that made the playoffs that don't make it. The Predators, yeah. Predators could be tight. It's that Saros, man. Saros is just stopping everything. They don't get anywhere without Saros last. The Predators wouldn't have got anywhere without Saros. Okay, hey guys, TikTok guys, I'm on YouTube here at My NHL Pearls of Wisdom. Go check it out on the YouTube, and you can. There's a lot of you can comment here if you want, but My NHL Pearls of Wisdom. Comment here and you want, and I'll talk to you too. But yeah, if the Leafs make everyone getting fired, probably. Yeah, I was talking about the Tarasenko trade talks. From what I'm hearing, or like I did a video today already, and from what I'm hearing, New Jersey, Rangers, and Islanders, all those New York PA teams, and apparently the big the team ahead right now is New Jersey, but it's really probably between the Islanders and New Jersey, I would think. The Rangers are probably just there to make it so those two have to pay a lot of more assets as possible to get Tarasenko. But I think the race is going to be between New Jersey and the Islanders. I would think the Islanders are the more desperate team to get a guy like Tarasenko, though. Like, they need a shooter like that, and there's none other ones out there. Now, Bailey would probably be part of that deal, I would think. Yeah, we talked about the Jack Eichel quite a bit when we first started out here. I don't know anything about Golishev. I don't know much about him. You have a feeling Eichel will stay in Buffalo, really? Wow. You heard it here first, boys and girls. Bill says that Eichel will stay in Buffalo. Nobody would definitely have saw that coming, except for Bill, apparently. Yeah, they got a lot of restricted free agents in their prime. Who are you talking about? Islanders or New Jersey? Golishev. Let me look it up. Honestly, I don't know much about him. I probably have read about him. I probably have looked at him, like, because I always look at the prospects of every team. What kind of numbers did he put up last year? Golishev. Where did he play? Minors? Golishev. Anatoly Golishev. Oh, he's only 5'8", 179. Better put up some huge numbers. Oh, he put 27 points up in 53 games, and he's only 5'8" in the KHL. My guess, you're not going to do very good. Those are not good numbers. Hey, Terry, how you doing? I haven't missed a day yet, Terry. Unlike you, Mr. Pagulas, seem to miss every day. What's going on with Eichel, Mr. Pagula? You going to let him get his surgery or what? I just think the Sabres are asking way too much for Jack Eichel. Now they've got the leverage pretty much. Like they said, they can wait it out. They can wait it out. They're looking, I guess they're kind of going to look bad, but this is it's tough. They got to get a lot for Eichel here. They don't want to trade now. They want to wait until. But when are they going to do it? Like it's such a weird situation. If they don't trade him now, he's not going to get the surgery, and it's just going to keep on going on and on and on. So they're basically going to force him to get fusion surgery that he doesn't want. That's really what they're trying to do, right? They're just trying to force him to get fusion surgery that he doesn't want. Hello. Skinner is still your boy. I bet. I wouldn't want to know what Skinner did for $9 million a year, Mr. Pagula. Yeah, no other team wants to pay for it yet, but the regular season is still a ways away. So we'll see what the regular season brings. As it gets closer to the regular season, things will get a little more itchy. I just think there's going to be a team out there that's going to take a chance. Oh, you have to go now? Oh, I have to go too. Shoot. Look at that. Okay, Whitechel, like I'm going a little long here because we're getting lots of concurrence. Look at all the people we got in here. Woo! Somebody just messaged me there, but I should probably get going. Well, guys, tomorrow evening, I'll be back here again. I don't know, what do you guys like better? Do you guys like at night or do you like during the day? Tell me right now. I got a little bit of time. You guys are in here. What do you guys like, day or night? Or does it matter? You like them both? Okay. See, once we get, like, as the website grows, Whitechel likes what? Night better. Okay. Day better. See, that's why I did it, because it gives everybody an option. Day, night, day, night, day, night. Anyways, when the regular season starts, the deal is what we're trying to get set up is that we're going to be going back to picks again, but all the picks are going to be tabulated, the points, and they're going to be on the website. So you can just go on the website and see what place you're on and all that kind of stuff like that. Bill likes days. Okay, well, I'll keep on going back and forth on days and nights then. Okay, that was fun, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow in the evening from 7:30 to 9:30. Yeah, Eastern. Have a great day. Okay, bye.